Here's how I had a record breaking month in December, and also the reason why most coaches do not. So, quick backstory: December was pretty much my biggest month that I've ever had in my own business, on my own offer for this entire year, and actually for multiple years. And what's funny about that is everybody in the online world, especially high ticket sales, everybody was saying that December's slow, like people don't buy in December. They'd say things like, people are checking out, like just wait until January. Everybody's going to give you an excuse of, let's just start in January so people don't close. So you should stop running marketing and stop doing ads and just take a chill pill. And the funny thing is if I listen to any of those beliefs or I let any of those stories shape how I show up in December, then I probably would have had just another standard or average month, maybe even below average. But here's the thing: I had a record breaking month. And today I want to break down why exactly that happened, because this lesson is going to change how you show up for the entirety of this year in 2026. So here's the thing, like I did not slow down in December. I did not disappear. I did not chillax. I didn't wait for the new year like everybody else says they do, or everybody else says other leads do. Like I literally worked harder and I locked in harder and I stayed focused when everybody else was putting their foot off the gas. Like when everybody else was chilling or, taking their foot off the gas, I decided to do the opposite. And because I did not buy into the collective excuses, I didn't inherit the collective results. And that's the thing that people don't tell you is most people are not going to fail because of the actual outside circumstances themselves. The reason that people fail is because they're attaching a specific story or outcome to that actual circumstance. So for instance, if people say December is slow, then they're going to make it slow, right? Like December is not in itself a slow month. People decide to make it a slow month for themselves. And that's the huge difference. Now, let's talk about coaches, because this whole video, this whole thing is not necessarily just about December. That's just a prime example of where a lot of coaches go wrong with creating stories that hold them back. The overarching theme here is about a pattern, right? Coaches love to blame external factors like the algorithm, the state of coaching, like AI, the economy, Trump, people being more skeptical online. People are more broke now, apparently, people not engaging. Like there's so many different excuses that we online coaches or entrepreneurs in general make, which holds us back. But the thing is none of this stuff in and of itself is the real reason you're stuck. Because there are a lot of people, including myself, who are crushing it online and crushing it in business and crushing it in our personal brands despite any outside circumstances. So the real reason is you have adopted these beliefs before you ever tested anything else out on your own. Like you hear that December is slow, therefore you make December a slow month. You hear a big coach say that, you should slow down in December and not put your foot on the gas with ads. Therefore, you're not going to do it. And what does that result in? You not making as much money. And so you end up blaming December, or you blame the algorithm, or you blame the reach. You see people scared of the economy, so you just justify not showing up as best you can. Like this whole thing is not a strategy, right? This is identity confusion. This is letting other people's limitations become your own ceiling for what is actually possible and what you're actually capable of achieving. So like I had a record month because I did not stop and let this outside noise basically like cloud my inner truth or like cloud what I actually knew deep down I was capable of doing. And that's a skill that most coaches don't realize that they need to build, because here's the trap that most people fall into, right? Most coaches, they think that the problem is always a tactical one. They think I need better content. I need better ads to run. I need better copy. I need more followers. I need a better offer. And like this is important, right? But in reality, like you need to stop absorbing these people's limiting beliefs and limitations. Like I did not do anything differently with my offer. I did not do anything differently with price. I did not do anything differently this month with any of the tactical things I just changed my beliefs in December, and that's what produced a huge month. So ask yourself this, like how many times have you not posted content because everybody's busy right now, or it's a slow time of the month? How many times have you prolonged a launch because the timing's not right, or not sold because like people aren't buying right now, or the economy is all over the place? Like, you stop putting your foot on the gas because you had a story, and that story is not a truth. It's just a story at the end of the day. And here's the powerful thing: the stories that you choose to believe are going to directly impact the results that you get. So my December only happened because I finally asked myself, I was like, you know what? Based on what I know I'm capable of, what if the only difference between my record month and a dead month is the identity that I choose to attach to that specific story? And so this is the exact way that I shifted this. Number one is I audited my story. I figured out, like, anytime I said it was a slow month or it's slow, I always asked, like, is this a fact, or is this something that I inherited from somebody else or some other coach? Step two, move. Like, move first and then evaluate later. A lot of people, we get so over consumed with strategy and brainstorming and the tacticalness that we don't just take action and then figure it out as we go. So you need to go and just move and take action. Step three is run your own race. Like, you are your only competition. If the patterns of other average coaches are impacting you, then you're never going to be able to grow. So focus on yourself, because most people are going to lift their foot off in December. And that's exactly why most people do not see great results in December. Step four is change the identity that produces the results that you want to have, not the identity that matches the circumstances or the outcomes that you see around you. Because that's why people work and don't get results, is because their identity is tied to something that subconsciously is putting a ceiling on what they can achieve. And this is actually why people work with me. They work with me because I help them shift their identities. I help them rewrite their stories before they get into the tacticalness or the strategy or like actually take an action. Because if you don't change the story, you are not going to be able to change your results. So the moral of this story, the moral of this whole video is December did not change. What changed was me. What changed was my stories. I chose to move like somebody who doesn't need permission to win. I chose to bet on myself when everybody else was making excuses. I chose to lead when everybody paused. And that is why it was one of the biggest months of my life. Like, circumstances, again, they're not going to dictate your results. What is going to dictate your results will be those stories and the identity that you are holding on to. And if you keep handing your identity and the beliefs that you have onto other coaches that may have limiting beliefs, you're going to keep living their results, not yours.